Welcome to another mathematics presentation. So in this presentation, I want us to answer this question that is coming from linear programming. So this is a question that came in mathematics paper 1 for 2024 GCE candidates, and this was question 21. The question reads, describe the four inequalities that define the unshaded region R on the diagram below. So we have this diagram right here, and this diagram, it has this region which has got these four inequalities, this one, and this one. So we need to describe the four inequalities that shows this unshaded what, or that define this unshaded region. So when it comes to inequalities, there are just few points that you must consider. We normally use the mathematical symbols, which are less than and the greater than. Then apart from that, we also have two types of lines. We have a solid line, a line which is just complete. Okay, we call this as a solid line. Solid line, when you use less than or greater than, make sure that you put the equal to, less than or equal to, or you say greater than or equal to. So if you have a dotted line, a line which is like this, okay, when to put the symbol, just use less than or just greater than. These are important points that you must consider. So the first thing, we need to identify which lines are simple. So we have this line and we also have this line. So I'll call this as line 1. Line 1 is simple because it's passing in the x-axis at the point x is equal to 6. So this one, x is equal to what? 6. So the question is saying, describe the unshaded what? Region. So this line, the shaded part is on the right hand side, which is showing that we have numbers that are bigger than 6. And on the left hand side, we have numbers that are less than 6. And what type of a line is it? You can see it's a dotted line, and I've said use just less than or greater than. So we are defining the unshaded region. So the shaded region is greater, the unshaded region is less. So this one will be x less than 6. So this is our first inequality. Okay, now we also look at the other line, which is simple. So you can see this line that is passing on the origin, which is on 0, 0 and 6, 6, this one right here. So this line, when you look at some of the properties of the graph, this is the line y is equal to what? X. So to define this line, we normally say the upper region is greater, the lower region is less. So the upper region is the one that is being shaded, okay? And the lower region is the one that is not shaded. So we are describing the unshaded region. So this one, for line 2, the inequality will be y is less than x. So because the line is a dotted line, but if it was a solid line, I would have added the equal to. Okay, so we are now remaining with this one. Okay, we are remaining with this one. All right, so before we come to this one, there is another line here which is passing on 1. Here there is a 1, and this is the y-axis. So this line is passing on y is equal to 1. This one right here. And what type of a line is it? It's a solid line. So the shaded part is down here, which is less than 1. Okay, then the unshaded part is upper region, which is greater. So we need to describe this one. So we say y is greater or equal to 1 because the line is a what? Is a solid line. That's why I've put the equal to. Okay, so we are defining the unshaded region, which is on top. So let us now go to this one, which is our last line. So this is the fourth one. Okay, so for the fourth one, we have to be careful because this one is cutting both the y-axis and the x-axis. So it's cutting the y-axis at the point y is equal to 3, and it's cutting the x-axis at the point x is equal to 6. So we need to come up with coordinates. We are going to use those coordinates to find the equation of the straight line. First we find the gradient, and then we find the equation of this straight line. Then we'll be able to come up with the inequality. So this one is x is equal to 0. Okay, this line, y-axis, is the line x is equal to 0. So because I've got the y coordinate here, so my coordinate will be 0, 3. Okay, for this one. Then this one is the line y is equal to 0. So I need to come up with a coordinate. X is 6, so this will be 6, 0. So I can use this coordinate and this coordinate to find the gradient. So we are going to do this. So we have 0, 3. We also have 6, 0. So this will be our x1, y1, x2, y2. So formula for finding the gradient is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So our y2 is a 0 right here. Our y1 is a 3 over our x2 is a what? It's a 6. Our x1 is a 0. So 0 minus 3 is negative 3 over 6 minus 0 is a 6. So 3 1, 3 into 6 is 2. So there is a negative here, so we have negative half. So this is our gradient. So after finding the gradient, we can now use this gradient, okay, to find the equation of the straight line. So the formula that you use is y minus y1 equal to m, which is the gradient, open bracket, x minus x1. So since we have these two coordinates, you can pick any. I normally pick this one where there is a 0, so that I don't have any I don't have a lot of work to deal with the y1. So you can either pick this one or this one, you still get the same answer. So if I pick 6, 0, so this will be my x1, this will be my y1. So I'll just substitute. This m is the gradient, which is negative half. So we are going to write y. So here if I say y minus 0, because y1 is a 0, so I just write y equal to, my gradient is a negative half, open bracket, x minus, our x1 is a 6. Okay, so from here we will just say y equal to negative half times x. This will be negative half x, negative, negative, positive. 2 here 1, 2 into 6 is a 3. 1 times 3, you still get a 3. So this is our equation. Y is equal to negative x, half x plus 3. So let us now go back to our line. Okay, let us go back to our line. Remember, we need to write the inequality. So this is the line that we have, this one. So the upper region is greater, the lower region is less. So we need to describe the unshaded region, which is the upper region, which is greater. And the type of line that we have, it's a solid line. So if we say greater, it will be greater or equal to. So let us now write here. So here we are now going to write, therefore, y is greater or equal to negative half x plus 3. So this is our inequality. So we can now make a conclusion that the four inequalities, the first one that we had was x less than 6, and the second one that we had was y less than x, and the third one that we had was y greater or equal to 1, and the fourth one is y greater or equal to negative half plus 3. So these are the required answers. So we've come to the end of our session. Thank you so much, everybody, for having time to view this content. This has been your presenter, Mr. Mlenga. Bye-bye.